Hey guys, it's the Archangel again. As you can probably see, I have my Age of Extinction Grimlock in front of the camera. And if you've got very good eyesight, you've probably noticed that this isn't the regular stock release. And the paint's different. Well, it is the regular release, but it doesn't look like it. Now this isn't just a paint job. If you look by the tail, you'll notice that there is something else that is different. Well, that will be because I modded it, and I just saw something out real quick. So I gotta sort my lighting out here. Just give me a sec. Sorry about this. Wish I had this prepared before. Oh well. Ay, caramba, that is bright. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. There we go. A bit better lighting. Oh bloody hell, that makes it worse. There we go. The tail's been modified with a couple of spare bionicle joints that I had, as you can see, and the legs as well. Now, these are actually pretty stable. I've got Lego joints there, and foot there. Now, this was very heavily inspired. I was inspired by someone called Delinquent Prodigy to do this. I kept the chrome. A lot of the features are still the same. The face looks more menacing with the red eyes. And yeah, I think the chrome just works better overall with the silver paint job. The stock version just, well, compared to a custom, it's going to suck, because, I mean, the stock version was, first of all, it was not animatronically correct, because without having those third joints, the T-Rex looks like absolute shat. I mean, as you can see, a T-Rex is supposed to have a third joint in its leg. This one didn't. And this mod was very risky, because I cut that off and froze the hand, so if this didn't work, I fecked it up. And the tail is longer, because that's how a T-Rex is supposed to be. A T-Rex is supposed to be like that, so that it can run and chase after its prey. Yes, I like Halo Mega Box. It's pretty cool. I've you got Spartan Emil? Oh well. Right, yeah, if my voice sounds a little weird, I am suffering a bit from a cold. So, let's just transform the guy. I mean, it's roughly the same process, a few different bits. There's some pegs, and that's just going to fall down. This actually unclips, and this is where a factory problem with mine. This was too tight, so you can probably see that this piece is actually broke. So I have to be very careful with it. That, as you can see, I used Humbrol paint and some clear poly to kind of bring out the shine. That folds there to form a weapon piece. This detaches. That turns to the side. That can form another. And this still does the same. Just open this. Forms another. And now we come to the main guy himself. This rotates around like that. The hands, again, the transformation is much the same, it's just these are a little bit different. He has modded shoulders as well, so his shoulders can do the full rotation without the detent. And I actually got a knife and carved somewhere in there so that this is easy to unpeg. Unpeg those, click that into place. This guy is pretty stiff. The paint is very thick paint, so it's got in there and it's sealed up all the joints. That just sits back on his arm flush like that. These little arms, they still go up there. Again, the transformation is the same, but I keep the feet like this because it covers up the really horrible gap, and that gap was just bad. Doing out these little spikes. Again, looking back at the stock version, it just sucked compared to this. Pull those out. I like the leg, how this all forms. It's a bit like a shell former, but oh well. This foot piece is bloody weird, but it is I mean, it works. And mine's actually got a misassembly problem. And this is just, it's pretty funny, really. It gives mine a bit more charm. And this is pegged in very tightly. Ah! Take that. Flick that up to his ass. That. Bloody hell almighty. You're actually supposed to keep these folded out, because, I mean, I've watched them in the video when Hasbro, the designers were talking about how they made Voyager Grimlock. You could still see they were doing artwork with spikes, and folding your... This foot is really tight. My Grimlock has 2 left feet. See? It doesn't really bother me that much, actually. And this one collapses down. Those fold there. Now, I bet most people don't do this when they transform, but these, there is actually a very good reason to fold these out. And this still splits the same. I like this, though, how this whole head just folds in on itself. That's some very neat design work there. Shame it doesn't have a waist joint, but oh well. Pegs in the back. These actually peg in and slide up. And there's a reason why, if you keep this pegged in, you can push them forward a bit more and actually make it so that it's more on his shoulder rather than back. So you can make it more like it is in the film where it's actually above his shoulder. Just peg the other side in. And then I just fuck those up. And it's not really done like a head mod, because I don't think I could, but that's basically Grimlock. And yeah, I kept the chrome. I kind of like the chrome. Just rotate it up a bit. If I did, what was it? Yeah, it's dark. If I turn it off, I'll keep this on. Actually, this guy looks really good. Actually, with the chrome. Chrome works well with the silver paint, better than the original. His standing's a bit funny sometimes. But these can form multiple weapons. This can peg in there, and I can flush to become that, and a short mace, or you could pop this off its ball joint, cut that on there, and give him the mace. Or you could give him his Titan mace, as I call it, the one he had in the film, the big one. Process is very easy. Turn this back to tail mode, and when you're doing it, it's best to fold these in at the same time, and they're just locked together. This, it's tight. Okay, that is a tight fit. This needs to be removed, taken down, and pushed back, and turned around. This clips back on there. This then clips on there. And these, just get these out of the way. And this actually pegs in there. And that just sits like that. So that is one freaking big mace. And the way the clip is designed, how it works, just to let you know, that piece is glued in like that. This, basically, because his hand is loose, it won't hold that. So that slots in there and actually clicks. Just, if you listen, probably can't hear it, but, and then that slides into place. And basically, what you end up with is probably what is basically end up with one freaking big mace. Wow, that base is nearly as big as he is. Camera's not focusing in properly, but yeah, that base is bloody ridiculous. Oh boy, yeah, that is one big ass mace. Again, he did have the lance in the film. Some people seen it. That's what that other thing was, where this was plugged onto there because it can form a lance and a shield. It doesn't really work very well as a shield. I might see if I can like widen this a bit. But yeah, that's basically it. Again, I didn't really have as much stuff at my disposal, and if you can see the purple cider bottle in the background, I do apologise. Oh god. Yeah, I'm really suffering terribly from a cold. Still, it looks about the same. I did paint the rubber, because it looked horrible. I mean, I've seen all the others, and to be totally honest, the Black Knight version, in my opinion, was the best out of the stock ones. But even then, some things on that just looked horrible, like, the brown and white colours being on just looked out of place and it looked horrible. And then when they did try to make a movie accurate with the Platinum Edition, they screwed that one up worse. Because they did it, and they put a bit of green and brown on to kind of simulate that rust that they had in the film. Because if you did look carefully in his T-Rex mode when he was running around, he did have a bit of green patches and some brown patches, like weathering and rust. But then the stupidest thing was they decided to add blue. Like, the blue on this Spartan. See this little Spartan here? This kind of blue. And the rust paint didn't even do right. I mean, it's like what Pure said about the chrome. They wanted to make rust, so they slathered a load of green. They painted it all darker grey, a bit of a darker silver than mine. It is silver, it just doesn't look it on the camera. But they basically slathered a load of, like, green. I'd say Master Chief green on it, and some brown, and then slathered a load of blue on it, and it just looked like a freaking mess. At least they got the eyes right, but yeah, it just looked horrible. Really, really horrible. I mean, I've seen pictures on the internet, it looked god-awful. I wouldn't mind, but the Black Knight versions, Grimlock's the only real one that's actually accurate. Slug isn't in the Black Knight, because he's all black, with his hair, he's like metal colour, multiple types of metal, and his eyes are red. Scorn, they got his eyes actually right colour. As you can see, Slug is a bit darker. I went for a clean metal effect with these guys. Scorn, he actually got painted first with a crappy paint, and then I washed it all off and painted him. But Scorn here, well, when I first painted him, because this is a glossy crimson, he actually looked like he was covered in blood at first. But I mean, he looks pretty menacing right now. I did remove the Orbot symbol, and you can probably see some of the paint chipping off there. But again, mine had a bit of a problem with loose legs, so I modified it. And, well, super glue trick. In fact, I actually cut the tabs off there, and the tab off on the underside of the arm, so that I could kind of free some posability up for Dino mode. And this happens a lot, but it doesn't with this one. Oh well. Yeah, and I did cut the... And okay, apparently my camera decided to cut off on me. It ran out of batteries. Well, actually not a camera, iPod. As I was saying, Scorn did need some mods for his Dino mode and focus. I did keep the eyes blue, because, you know, they are blue. They got that right, I'm glad that they got. I mean, Scorn's bait job was the most accurate, because, out of the standabilities, because in the film, if you look carefully, he was red. He did have bits of red on him, which is why I painted crimson on. Only I splattered it on, making it look like it was weathered. I just scruffily painted it on after I completely painted him dark gunmetal colour and then added silver. And, yeah, so, if I just get in there, I did paint Scorn's weapons, and I painted Slug's weapon, actually. It's funny, because Slug's weapons are rubber, and they said it does not stick well to rubber, but that's the crappy paint that I painted him before, and it's actually stuck on really well. So that is all of the Dinobots, and if I just give them a quick comparison with my crosshairs, the most detailed custom I've ever done, and again, Grimlock just towers above him, as usual. Funny thing is, actually, is Optimus Prime, if you looked carefully enough in the film, if I just go grab it, where is it? Exactly. Here it is. Sorry, I'm leaning over my boxes of small Legend class. This is that clear one. This, if I just show you, we've gone out of the way. If you looked carefully enough, when Prime and Optimus were fighting, sorry, Prime and Grimlock were fighting for the first time, that was the scale they were at. Yeah, that's how big Grimlock is. And this guy could actually ride him well if he had knee joints. Ugh, anyway, doesn't matter. As I was saying, here he is with his Dinobot buddies and crosshairs. But now to put my very first joint custom, which I actually did a tutorial. I don't know if anyone's done it. My custom Armada Optimus Prime. I try to make him look like he did in the video game, and I think it's worked really well because he's got ball joints there, and they work really well, and also some backlights for vehicle and all that stuff. But yeah, Grimlock still has the same articulation. His wrist still rotates, as you saw in the transformation. His head still rotates, but his head's very tight, actually. And I did paint his eyes. I just think that the red eyes, like, really brings out the evilness in him. Because I like it how the Dinobots, especially Grimlock, they were good guys, but they looked so evil. I really like that element of them. That's the one thing I love, is when good guys have a really evil and creepy vibe to them. Much like the rumours of Poxy the Pirate from, Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, there's rumours that he was a good guy, because he doesn't really attack you like the others. He runs in there, but his voice box malfunctions, he screams, and your character dies of a heart attack. But yeah, again, like, it's like as if a bad guy turned good, but with Grimlock, it's a good guy who's so heavily who looks so much like a bad guy, it actually makes him misunderstood. That's what I like. I mean, this is Grimlock we're talking about. This is Grimlock here. And if you just take all the others out of the equation, you're left with this. I mean, come on. It's the big guy himself. This is what the most hype was. When they found that Dinobots were bringing an age of extinction, this guy caused one hell of a hype. And when I found the image of him transforming, I went bloody insane. Like, literally, because it's like saying Elvis Presley. What's so great about Elvis Presley? It's Elvis. I mean, it's the same with Grimlock. I mean, it's like Halo as well. What's so great about Halo? It's Halo. I mean, there's enough said. Yes, when I'm talking about Halo, I'm talking about the games. Okay, some of you didn't know, some people are like that. But it's the same with Grimlock. It's Grimlock. You can't really say any more. It's self-explanatory. Grimlock. He's a badass. With a fucking big mace. I'm going to zoom out now. But yeah. That mace is almost as big as he is. Wow. And again, the kibble is only apparent, like, but yeah, it's very flush in his arms, I will say. It took a lot of designing, weeks into designing. It's not the only thing I designed. If you see a little something right there, the little weird robot, the green one, I built that too. Some of you may recognise it, but I'll do another video on that. Still, this has been the Archangel with my custom Grimlock video. And I hope you enjoyed it. And peace.